What's good everyone, it's your boy, your dig, 4 eyes, 2 G's here, and today we're here to talk about YBN Nahmir and his label situation with Atlantic Records. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the whole Nahrmir YBN situation recently. However, in this video, I'm going to take a look at it from a different perspective and break down the whole label situation, because I think this is having a drastic impact on Nahmir's career right now, and I haven't really seen it being talked about a lot, so let's break it down.
It is life is do or die. Keep it cold like samurai. Know the pain I don't jeopardize. So many days sacrifice. And my niggas should testify. Like turn my third eye. Like turn my third eye. Niggas spine like golden eye. Like shut her electrify. By the fire to Shanghai. Or maybe Dubai. Ayy, when I'm getting money. Oh, don't think I won't turn you bloody.
Okay, first of all, it's important to preface this by saying that just today, Nahrmir did announce a date for his album, December 18th. But that is a long ways away, and I'm gonna touch on that later on in the video, but let's just place everything up until this point into context first. So let's kick it off with this news right here that actually came out at this time last year, which honestly I missed, but I think actually adds a lot of context to everything we're seeing go on right now. As you can see on the screen right here, YBN Nahmir tweeted out a few of his thoughts in regard to his label situation. I can't wait to get the F out of this deal, almost to the point of F everybody, find your happiness because without it you'll be burnt out. I've been trying to keep my whole life behind closed doors. I didn't even feel like myself, to be honest, praying to get better. And then he talks about it a little bit more here, but yeah, the crucial information out of all of this is his kind of run in and his problems with the label. Now, I've talked about this in other videos, but as you guys would know, we've been waiting on a debut album from Nahrmir for literally years now. In this interview right here he did with Real 92.3 LA, he said that it was dropping by the end of 2019. Obviously that didn't happen, and then he constantly teased that it was going to drop throughout 2020. Plus, on top of this, we do know basically every single he's dropped since 2019 has flopped and hasn't done well commercially. Of course, you can see right here in 2018 and 2017 he had his big hits, Rubbing Off the Paint and Bounce Out with that kind of brought him into the mainstream sphere. Then since then he tried to have a big hit with F It Up with City Girls and Tiger, that flopped, didn't do anything. Then on top of that, this year they tried again with Two Seater with G-Eazy and Offset, and both of them flopped, didn't really do anything. And again, it's important to point out, look at the features that the label is getting for these records. City Girls, Tiger, G-Eazy, Offset, these are meant to be hit records that they're putting a lot of money into, but they're just not connecting. Okay, so let's just place everything I just said into context. With YBN Nahmir, who's tried to kickstart the rollout for his album multiple times with multiple singles that have all flopped. Then on top of that, he was meant to drop the album last year, but basically this album got completely held hostage by Atlantic because they realized Nahrmir is not in a position to drop an album at this point in time, and if he did, he'd basically flop guaranteed, which we can assume in part kind of led to this rant right here about his label that I talked about earlier on. Now, let's just bring this to the present day, and this is super interesting. If you guys didn't know, not only is Nahrmir signed to Atlantic, Cordae is also signed to Atlantic, and Almighty J is also signed to Atlantic. So I think that presents a very interesting situation from the label perspective of Atlantic, with YBN Nahmir, who originally came out as the biggest person in the group, kind of put the group on and was clearly the most popular, but as time has gone on, that kind of title has been taken over by Cordae. So from a label perspective, I think what that says is, well, if we're putting money into Nahmir singles with G-Eazy, Offset, City Girls, Tiger, etc., but they're all flopping, let's hold off on that album like they've been doing, because Nahrmir is no longer that guy. So let's put Nahrmir on the back burner for now and maybe pivot some of that money and put it into Cordae. And I think we've seen this directly contribute to the two's most recent songs right here. Notice there's a huge difference. We have YBN Nahmir's I Remember, which is premiered on World Star Hip Hop. Then on the other hand, we have Cordae, who got the Roddy Ricch feature and was premiered on Lyrical Lemonade. Now keep in mind, it's interesting to note that this time around Cordae gets the big feature, when in the past who was getting the big features for the singles? Nahrmir. But Atlantic realized, why would we invest money into getting a big name feature on Nahmir's records if they're not working? So let's try it out with Cordae instead. And on top of that, they got him onto Lyrical Lemonade compared to World Star Hip Hop. That really needs no explanation. Now let's just go one step deeper, and this is super interesting. So this chart right here adds up all the followers from every single playlist that the song is in. So basically, this is very crucial to know how much playlisting the song is getting, because of course, if it's in Rap Caviar and all the other ones, it's gonna have a huge amount of total playlist followers, because it tallies the amount of followers in every single playlist into one amount. Now this is the amount for I Remember, which again is Nahmir's single right here. So at the start when it came out, it was about at what, 12-13 million, and now it sits at about 9 or so million. Now let's compare this to Gifted. And it really needs no explanation. Gifted is sitting at what, 32 million total playlist followers right now. And I know it might seem like an obvious thing, of course, considering one has Roddy Ricch, etc, but that's kind of the whole point of what I'm saying and what I think is kind of leading to Nahmir's beef or issue with the label. At the moment, it's very clear the label was focused on Nahmir at one point in time and was kind of pushing him and putting money into him, but they've gone, hey, we've spent this money on Nahrmir with all these singles, but nothing has worked and we've lost money. So let's pivot this right now and see if we can put that money that we would have invested into something else, and part of that something else is Cordae, because in this situation it's clear that this song is getting that major push and getting that major money behind it. Now last of all to get to is the fact that his album date has been announced December 18th, and honestly the fact that this is 4 months away speaks to so much of what I'm saying. You rarely see albums announced this far out in today's climate, and from my perspective what this speaks to is the fact that Atlantic Records have no idea what to do with Nahrmir right now, and basically they just put out this date as a tested date to kind of see where Nahmir's fan base is at, to see the amount of traction he has, and to see realistically whether he's going to flop or whether he's going to do numbers. And over the next 4 months or so, what I realistically expect them to do is try to put out a couple more singles, see if they can generate some more buzz and hype compared to where it's at right now, and then I genuinely would not be surprised if this album doesn't end up releasing on December 18th and ends up being pushed back later on. But yeah, the fact that it's been announced 4 months away is so telling to the fact that Atlantic just have no faith in Nahrmir right now, and they don't really know what to do with Nahrmir right now. And on top of this, if you know your history about Atlantic Records, you know they have no qualms in delaying projects and holding back the artists from dropping when they want to. We've seen this time and time again outside of just Nahrmir, with people like Lil Uzi Vert and Action Bronson, who spoke out against Atlantic Records and put blame on them as the reason why their projects weren't out yet. So I think in this case, the fact that Nahrmir is with Atlantic just makes it so much worse, whereas I think if he was with another label situation, maybe he would have had the project out already, but Atlantic Records are well known for their ruthless nature when it comes to releases, and they're only going to release a project if they think it's going to do well. If not, they're just going to shelve you, put you on the back burner for months or years until you get yourself hot again and in a position where they think it's actually worthwhile for them in terms of money and time to put out the project. But yeah, let me know what you think about this whole Nahrmir beef label situation. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Let me know in the comments. Also, before we finish this video, I want to give a couple quick shout outs from the Instagram. Big shout outs to Ty Rut and also Flash Guy Town for following me over on my IG. Much appreciated, you two. If you guys don't follow your boy, man, at your dig, make sure you go follow your boy, show me some love. You guys know what to do. Also, you can see the merch pieces we have available on my big cartel on the screen right now. We got some Cardi, Uzi, Travis merch, etc, etc. If you guys want to check it out, link will be in the description. But as always, thanks a lot for watching. If you guys haven't, make sure that like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications, all that good YouTube stuff, and there are more videos of mine on screen right now. Make sure to check them out if you haven't.